Hello, investors. Welcome back. Is there still time to buy Sundial? Is this a good investment? Is this a good trade? What is a low entry point? Let's talk about that during this video. Let me give you a quick update. Since last week, everything that we expected to happen happened, and now we have the bill that passed and it's going to the Senate. But what are Republicans saying? Republicans who took the podium to voice their opposition against the bill said there are more important crises Congress should be addressing. You know, these politicians can't do more than one thing at a time. Now, if you want to keep up with this, just remember HR 3617 or the MORE Act. It was introduced, it passed the House. Now it's going to the Senate. So just remember that. We also have a higher rate of borrow fee. So the more expensive it is to short this, that is a good sign for investors. So we know that this is a solid investment going forward. And to see that it is costing more to borrow, you can see that it was 39.1, then it went down a little bit. So we'll continue to watch this week. Now let's take a look at their financials because we know this acquisition went through. We expected this, and I want to tell you when you're going to see the numbers on the income statement. So when will we actually recognize that Alcana and Nova Brand, all of this revenue come together in one nice basket for us? That's going to be on 6/30/2022. So we are about to see the numbers for 12/31/2021, which hasn't posted yet. So we still have another quarter after this quarter that's announced on or before April 14th. We're going to get those numbers, then we'll have to have another quarter, and then we will see the numbers for April, May, and June. If this transaction closed, if I get the timing correct, it will be another quarter, so there's going to be opportunities to buy low still possibly. Now on April 1st, Sundial Growers was granted an MCTO or a management cease trade order, and I don't see this as a negative catalyst towards the company, but we do have news that should be coming out this week on the official date and time of when they plan on doing their earnings. Maybe it's on April 14th, or it could be before. It would make sense that it's exactly April 14th, but they should be officially announcing that this week. I would expect either sometime early this week or by the end of this week. Now, if we look at the trading volume by sector and industry, Sundial at the top, because it's a penny stock, it's going to be highly volatile. Now, the market cap on CLVR is much lower, and that's why you're seeing this sudden increase and decrease. This declined 50%, then ran back up. So watch this for those of you that like the day trading. Now, we'll also watch these USA country locations, even though we understand that Canada, isn't impacted by this whole political passing of legislation. You could notice a sudden drop in value opportunity buying on these two if that legislation doesn't go through. I don't think it's all that much going to impact SNDL, and if it does, it's just a buying opportunity. So be on the lookout for that. If that legislation doesn't go through, it could cause a negative impact to the share price, but I would just see that as an amazing opportunity to just add to your position for SNDL because they did the acquisition of Alcana, and we talked about that timing of when we should realize that revenue coming through. So just remember that this is a slight dilution to the company, and dilution of the shares has been a problem in the past. Even though they plan on doing a buyback and that's scheduled, this is still a dilution. So you can expect that there's not going to be too much of a benefit until we recognize that revenue and they show that they can manage this business process the way that it's set up. So it'll be exciting to see those numbers updated in the months to follow. So Nova Cannabis also going through some changes, and you can see that down here we have Zach is the chair, the chief executive officer from Sundial. They made some changes within this, so that's going to be exciting because even Alcana, everything's directing them over to Sundial Growers now. You can expect that there are going to be some good announcements, I would expect, from this next earnings because their growth outlook is going to be recognized as increasing. So typically when you recognize stronger growth in the year to come, analysts update their expectations and the stock price goes up. Delta 9 Cannabis, this is the next one that we're talking about, that did some financial restructuring within the company, and they took a 10 million convertible debenture from Sundial, and this is a type of long-term debt issued by a company that can be converted into shares of equity stock after a specified period of time. So they had 3 major announcements, and that was one of them. So just know that Sundial is also working with Delta 9 Cannabis, and you never know what could take place here. And Delta 9 is supposed to be number 4 largest in Canada. So Sundial is really starting to become a monster. Now let's talk about what these levels are. Are you buying low? Let's take a look at the chart. So you can see last time I talked about this, I was like, look, the buy level is at 71 cents. And this is not investment advice, but you should take these buy levels of, well, I'm not going to buy any higher than this because it showed several lines of support of bouncing back up above that line. Now, this also gives you an opportunity to say, hey, look, is it going down further, and be able to respond and just watch those red candlesticks. This is on the 5-minute chart, and you can see it dip down here a couple of times before it tested, retested, and then came back up to get shot back down up here. So you can see it didn't even get past about 74 cents before it came back down to try and find support right here around 69 cents. So this went as low as 68, 69. So just know that when I put these lines down here, they're definitely going to get you in low, but there is the potential that this could go back to where it was before this legislation even happened. So if this does drop in a negative way due to this legislation news not turning out exactly the way the market wants to see it, and that has been priced in this price going up, I would say down here about 60 cents is like should potentially be an area that you want to look at to really, really add strong to your position if you believe in this stock. That's all I got. I'm going to be keeping you updated this week. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Give the video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.